Now I'm gonna go into admissions, transfers. Okay, up first we're gonna talk about the Hesi. And again, there's lots of info on this website, so please read this section thoroughly. It has to be within the last 5 years. Needs to be a 75% in all of these subjects here. Biology is included, but it is not graded, and they do not take into account the overall score, just the individual scores for vocab, reading, math, and grammar. You get 2 chances in a 12-month period. And these underlined words are hyperlinks, so you can click and find the instructions and all the information about the Hesi. I always recommend Brandon Craft for math. Join that Facebook group. Use the search button in the Facebook group to search all of your questions before you even ask a question, because 9 times out of 10, your question's already been asked and answered. Next is the background check. You will have to get a background check. Further down on the cost, it's going to give you the extra cost for additional things that you have to do to comply for WGU. I have no idea what criminal backgrounds they accept or don't accept, so I'm not sure. I do get asked, if I have this, can I still apply? I have no idea. That's a great question for your enrollment counselor. Please use the link in my bio to log in and make an account so that you can talk to an enrollment counselor to verify everything that I am saying. Next is the nursing essay. And if you click here, they have a whole link on the essay, what font it needs to be in, how many pages, what you need to include in your essay. I know that not everybody is good at writing. Papers aren't really my favorite either. Just do your best, write what you can. Use Grammarly to check your punctuation. Have a friend or your parent or husband, wife, anybody, just read it over and see what they think. Another student that you know of, somebody that can reread it and look it over for you and add some adjustments if needed. But just do your best. I think the website tries to scare people a little bit or to make it seem like it's more stressful than it is. It's competitive, not guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. It's competitive in the sense that, yes, people might start before you because their Hesi might be higher than yours, so definitely don't shoot for the 75% minimum. I would shoot for something higher if you can. So that's what they mean by competitive. Enrollment to the program does not guarantee you in the clinical nursing portion of the program. It is not that serious. As long as you meet the requirements, like you passed all of your classes for the pre-nursing term, you've been meeting with your mentor weekly like you're supposed to, you have all your vaccinations and everything else that's needed to meet the requirements before starting, which you'll get emails about and notifications about to have done. Like I said, the vaccines, background checks, stuff like that, all that insurance uploaded, all that stuff. As long as you have that done, you're moving on to the next part. Now for transfer credits, click this tab here. If you have classes to transfer over, you can click here to see which classes from your school they're partnered with and if it meets the requirement. Lots of information here about transferring your classes and facts about it. They also have something new, I believe, where your transcript will be gathered at no additional work cost on your end, because I know some schools do require you to pay for your transcripts, but they do have some new service. I've never used this before. Like I said, I think it's something new that they're doing for certain schools. That's another way to do your prerequisites that you might not know about. The fastest, cheapest way to do your prerequisites for WGU is going to be Sophia.com, Study.com, or StraightLiner.com. A lot of people are using Sophia.com because I believe it's $100 a month, $99 a month. You get to take 2 classes at one time, and then when you're finished with one, obviously you can pick up another. A lot of people are doing their prerequisite between a month to 3 months, which is a lot faster than you do at a community college, or if you were to do them with WGU, because WGU's term is 6 months, even though you can finish them in less time. It's cheaper to do them at Sophia. WGU charges $8,900, I believe, per term. It does not matter how many classes you take in that term. It's just $8,900 every single term. The link that I showed you earlier for the transfer credits and to see which schools are partnered, Sophia is on there, and that way you can see which classes meet their requirements. Again, if you look on that Facebook group, lots of people talk about which classes coordinate for the prereqs, that you can make sure you're getting the right credit for the right courses that transfer into WGU. The only one that I know that is not on Sophia.com is pathophysiology, but I think people are taking it on Straightliner or study.com. I'm not sure, but look on that Facebook group, search the prerequisite topic in that group, and then you'll be able to get a lot of information about the prereqs. Another topic that I want to add to the admissions portion of this video is about vaccines. I always get questions about religious exemption for vaccines like the flu or COVID. I personally do not know anybody who has gotten religious exemption. That does not mean that people don't get it. I know they do accept exemption. That's a really good question for an enrollment counselor. I think that you are allowed to get exemption with the school, but it's going to depend on the hospital that you're actually going to your rotation for, if they're going to accept the exemption or not. Again, I do not know. I have all of mine, so I'm not sure. It does basically say what I just stated in the standard compliance requirements, which is that you might get exempt with WGU, but the clinical partners might not accept that, and it can affect your progression in the program. On my next video, we'll talk about cost, which it does break it down here, but I'll break that down even more just for understanding, and then also just some options that you might not know about to pay for nursing school.